We hear this term high value thrown around all the time. But what does it actually mean, really, on a psychological level? It's got nothing to do with money or status. Nope. It's an internal quality, this kind of quiet, solid confidence that completely changes how you move through the world. So let's break down the habits that actually build.
And this is the real challenge, isn't it? We are just surrounded by noise, a constant flood of opinions, notifications, and distractions. So in the middle of all that chaos, how do we build a self that feels solid, that feels authentic and genuinely valuable, not just to other people, but, and this is the important part, to ourselves?
Well, the answer isn't out there somewhere. It's in here. True, lasting value is an inside-out job, 100%. It's built on the foundation of your character. Let's dig into what that really looks like. Okay, this right here is the absolute key. Being high value is all about learning to validate yourself. It's a quiet confidence that comes directly from your character, your principles, and your actions, whether anyone's clapping for you or not. This single idea is the bedrock for all 7 of the habits we're about to explore.
So where do we even begin? Well, we start by building an internal fortress, a core that's unshakable. Our first 2 habits are all about self-mastery, getting a handle on your own mind and your own actions. The very first habit is mastering your inner world. Now, this is not about suppressing your feelings or pretending they don't exist. Not at all. It's about learning to observe them, to understand them, and then, this is crucial, to choose your response instead of just being yanked around by an impulse. It's all about creating a little bit of space between what happens to you and how you react. That space, that's where all your power is.
And this wisdom is ancient for a reason. Look at this from Marcus Aurelius. The Stoics understood this concept perfectly. Real power isn't about controlling every little thing that happens around you, because you can't. It's about controlling your perception of it. And that right there is the heart and soul of emotional regulation.
And this comparison just nails the difference. On the left, you've got that knee-jerk reaction. Someone criticizes you, you lash out. Boom, you've just given away all your power. But on the right, that's the regulated response. You still feel that sting of criticism. You're human. But you acknowledge it, and then you get to decide what to do next. That choice, that is real strength.
So if emotional regulation is about gaining inner control, then self-discipline is the engine that turns that control into real, consistent action. It's the promise you make to yourself, and then you keep it day in and day out. So how do you actually build it? Well, forget about these massive, life-altering changes. That's not how it works. You start small, seriously small. Pick one thing. Then create a routine around it that's totally non-negotiable. The key here is consistency, not intensity. You don't have to go all out. You just have to show up. Because every single day you follow through, you're not just building momentum, you're building trust with the most important person there is, yourself. Okay, so we've started to build that internal core. Now let's talk about how that value gets communicated to the rest of the world. This next set of habits is all about demonstrating self-respect in how you interact with others.
Right. Boundaries. These are not about shutting people out. Think of them as the clear, respectful lines you draw that literally teach people how to treat you. They are basically a declaration to yourself and to the world that you value your own time, your energy, and your well-being.
And this contrast says it all, doesn't it? A weak boundary, just saying yes to avoid a little conflict, might get you some temporary approval, but it always breeds resentment inside you. Always. But a strong boundary, when you say no clearly and respectfully, protects your integrity. And ironically, it ends up earning you far more genuine respect in the long run.
And that leads us perfectly into our 4th habit, understanding that your words have real weight. High-value people don't just talk to fill the silence. They speak to add value. Their communication is thoughtful. It's purposeful. Every word counts.
All right, once you have that strong core and you have those clear boundaries, you can start to engage with the world from a place of real security. So these next habits are all about creating connections that are deep and meaningful, not superficial.
This one is subtle, but it is so powerful. Try this shift. Instead of always focusing on being interesting, just focus on being interested. When you actually listen to understand, not just to cook up your reply, you make people feel seen. You make them feel valued. And that genuine curiosity, it's absolutely magnetic. It builds powerful, authentic connections.
Next up is a really nuanced one.
We hear all the time that vulnerability is a strength, and you know what? It is, but it has to be shared wisely. Selective vulnerability means you open up your authentic self, but only with people who have actually earned your trust. And that distinction is just so critical. See, oversharing often comes from a place of insecurity, and it can actually make people uncomfortable and push them away. But selective vulnerability, that's a gift. It's a powerful way of saying, I trust you. And that is the bedrock of any truly deep connection. So we've gone through 6 incredibly powerful habits, but there is one final habit that holds them all together. It's the keystone, the one piece that keeps the entire structure from falling apart.
And that habit is integrity. It's actually pretty simple. It's alignment. It's when your actions consistently match your words and your values. It's doing what you say you're going to do, not just for other people, but for yourself. It is the ultimate form of self-respect.
Eisenhower's words here just hit the nail on the head. And think about it for a second. Without integrity, emotional regulation is just an act. Self-discipline is hollow. And your boundaries are meaningless. Integrity is the thing that makes all the other habits real.
So let's bring this all home. We've just walked through 7 habits that, when you practice them, build this powerful sense of self-worth from the inside out.
And the most important thing to remember is that these aren't just separate little tricks or life hacks. They all work together. They create a kind of synergy. Your discipline supports your boundaries. Your integrity strengthens your connections. They all feed into each other, creating a powerful, integrated system for building character.
And please, remember this. This is not about being perfect. Nobody is. The goal is simply to be intentional, to practice, to choose, day by day, little by little, to build the person that you truly want to become.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought. You don't have to tackle all 7 of these at once. That's overwhelming. Just start with one. Which of these habits really speaks to you right now? Which one, if you started practicing it just a little bit today, would make the biggest difference in your life? The choice